魔王バスト Magnolia Arch 登場よ。
Yo, what's up y'all? Vlad here. We've got another traveler joining us this week, Magnolia. The last of the Bravely Default 2 collaboration. She's a lightning merchant from the memoirs of Bravely Default 2. Other than having an extremely cool looking drawing, she is one of the top 5 strongest polearm users in the game, even still in the JP side. But with that, let's go ahead and check her out. Ayumi Sunimatsu is her VA. If you pulled for Liana, she's also the same voice actress. Other than Liana, I don't really know her other roles, but let me know if you recognize any of them. Let's head over to her notable damaging skills. Her first one is an SP cost of 16. It's a one-hit AoE polearm damage attack, potency 150. It gives the entire front row except herself a 10% HP barrier, and then for 3 turns, she gives herself a counter to physical and elemental attacks with a one-hit polearm damage attack, potency of 200. Her second ability is an SP cost of 58. If the target has speed down, this becomes a 7-hitter. Third attack is SP cost of 80. It's a 1-turn delay to jump, and she can't be targeted on the turn of jump. She acts faster the next turn and deals a 3-hit AoE polearm damage attack, potency of 195 and 240 at 6 stars. And this attack, however, does not reduce any points. The fourth attack is SP cost of 64. It's a 4-hit single target lightning elemental damage attack, potency of 65. And lastly, for her TP skill, it's an SP cost of 78. It's a 3-hit AoE lightning elemental damage attack, potency of 80, and has a moderate chance to inflict paralysis if the enemy is inflicted with speed down. Next, for her ultimate. At level 1 to level 10, she deals a 6-hit AoE polearm damage attack, potency 50 at level 1 and 60 at level 10, and this has a 20% more potency up if the enemies are inflicted with speed down. Then for her EX skill, if there's an enemy that's present with speed down, she can use this, and this has 2 usages per battle. It's a 1-hit single target polearm damage attack, potency of 230, and it absorbs 1% of SP of the damage that's dealt, and the potency doubles if the enemy hasn't acted yet. Then for her lay-in skill, after 2 turns, and she can reuse this after 4 turns, when she selects a skill, she gets a plus 30% to polearm damage and a damage cap of 50,000, and also dead aim for 1 turn. Then her passives. Her first one, when she switches row, she inflicts a 30% AoE speed down to all enemies for 2 turns. Her second passive, she gives herself a 100% potency up when she consumes 3 or more BP. Then she has a 20% in wind resistance and 10 in lightning. Taking a look at her stats here, her attack at 6 stars is 519. She is the second strongest merchant in the game in terms of attack stat, even in the JP side of things, but just a tad bit below a future collaborations merchant. Her HP is respectable at 4260, but her speed is on the lower side at 275 at 6 stars, so that's something that you'll want to watch out for. Then for the main question. She's strong. If you're looking to upgrade your merchant squad, she is essentially the start of the polearm meta until the real broken travelers come out. But until then, as said before, she is still top 3 or 4 for being the strongest for polearms. Her gimmick gives her added effects with speed down, and if you have a Signa, those effects will always proc, as Signa's latest passive skill also inflicts enemies 5% speed down if her SP is higher than 60%. Magnolia is also sustainable in the fact that she doesn't need Solon's ultimate or an added % potency, as her second passive will always give her a 100% potency up if she consumes 3 more PP. Her lane skill adds even more to herself. She gets a 30% polearm damage up, plus dead aim, and also a 50,000 damage cap up. Her abilities does make her somewhat of a selfish character, as she doesn't offer anything noteworthy to your team in terms of support, but she makes up for it by being extremely self-sufficient. Her first passive, when she switches roles, inflicts a massive 30% speed down right off the bat, so that is amazing by itself. One of her biggest downfalls is the fact that she can't hit lightning weaknesses with her polearm abilities as well. Instead, she has access to a 3 or 4 hit lightning elemental attack that won't do too much for her, as again her role is mainly of a physical polearm DPS. Her A4 accessory is a 60 to attack and 80 to SP, along with an SP regen of 50 when enemy with speed down is present, and at the start of battle she lowers all speed of all enemies by 10% for 3 turns. This is an okay accessory. The 50 SP regen is nice to have, but also requires the enemy to be inflicted with a speed down, which isn't too hard if you have Signa on your team, but this isn't something that I would chase after. She's best at Awakening 1 for more stats, like all characters, and that's a decent spot for her. Anyways, next, longevity. I can still see her being used. She's the first of all travelers to get an innate 100% potency up added to her skill set, but of course, she's not going to be the last. Moving forward, these are traits that you'll see more and more of when it comes to the extremely strong travelers. Let's go ahead and finish up. Give their design 5 out of 5. Man, she is thick. and also cool looking. The Dragoon class has always been sick looking. Her VA 4 out of 5. I haven't seen too much of her work, so I'm familiar with it. Of course, with the exception of the abilities, 3.75. She is the start of the polearm meta and the start of Travelers getting an added 100 potency up. Longevity 3.5. Currently, we don't have any notable strong merchants except for Leon, Roland, Krauser, and Cecily, if you will. Compare this to warriors, merchants definitely need some more love. And with Magnolia's introduction, she'll be here for a hot second. Level buff, 0 to 5, Cheetah and Genny. Time limited, yes, 0 to 5, part of the Bravely Default 2 collab. Overall impression, 3.6 out of 5. I like her design and her sprite. I've always been a fan of Dragoons, as I said before, and jump attacks. And also, funny enough, she's gonna be our first somewhat English-speaking traveler, so that by itself is kinda cool. Her abilities will blow out all our current polearm users out of the water. And that's because she does everything that we want a DPS to do all by herself. Anyways, that was it for Magnolia. I'll try to pull for her, as I do really like her skills and the way she looks. Out of the 3 travelers in this collaboration, she is by far the best character. So if you're looking for a rather strong polearm user, she can definitely fit that role for you. Anyways, let me know if you'll be pulling. I'll catch you next time. Take care of yourself like always. Lad out.